Your name on, there we go. And we're so fortunate that Quentin Nicholson here is going to be your moderator. And if you have a few comments that you'd like to share, he will listen them from you. Quentin was, grew up in Ashland, Oregon. He was first an actor, I think. And now he owns a business. You do remodels and construction, right? Yes. And so this is Quentin Nicholson, and I'm so thrilled to have you here today. Okay. And if I think I can kick this off. I brought a little note from Cheryl White. How many of you remember Cheryl White? All right. Cheryl says Larry the Legend Hall. There are but a few in the world who achieve legend status. This honor comes as a result of a lifetime of contribution, accomplishment, and dedication to all that is good. Whenever Larry's name comes up in conversation, the overwhelming consensus is how lucky we all are to know you and have you as a friend. Thank you, Larry, for all you have of yourself. You are the ultimate definition of a legend. Happy birthday. This was last year.
Go back quite a ways so when we're down on the drive properties. And we both sort of grew up in Bradley properties, Park Realty. One of the things I really always appreciated about Larry, and in these troubled times and where we have a lot of disagreements, life, politics, or whatever else there is, real estate is a lot the same way when you come down to a buyer and the seller getting together and you've got agents and they can get at each other's throats. And Larry had a gift. Larry had a gift how to listen to a buyer, to a seller, to a buyer's agent, to a seller's agent, and listen. And listen was his key attribute. And after they listened, it's amazing how he didn't need to say much of anything. The problem's resolved. And he had a way of bringing those people together. And I watched them do it so many times, so many transactions, worked with so many people, and bringing them together where there once was pretty bad dispute. I wish he were still around today to be able to counsel in that way. But we can all learn, especially how he managed to listen to people. And that's what I appreciate most about Larry, what he's done for us and the community. Thank you.
That was beautiful. I was touched in so many ways. Probably Pastor Reese Thomas pretending like he wasn't preaching. That was my favorite part when he said, "I'm getting ready to preach." I think you're doing it, Pastor. Pastor David Reese was my pastor growing up as a kid. He was there when my father passed away. I would like to, in the spirit of Larry, he was such an exhorter. He had that way to encourage you. And I was thinking about how Larry would be in this situation. He would just exhort all of you. He would say, "Hey, well done. Thank you for showing up." So I'm going to do that for him, to say thank you for showing up and choosing love and relationship, because it's so easy to choose the latter, the opposite. But today you chose love. You chose relationship. That's why you're here. It's the best thing to live this life around people who love and care for you. And I was just blessed again by Larry's friends. Stand in the grace that love and relationship brings to this space feels holy to me. So being young, in my 30s, not now, Larry and I did a speculation home. And that spec home actually is sitting right there in the distance. Our very first spec home that I built with my own two hands, and Larry was our broker and encouraged Carrie to get her license. We were full of fear, as you are, I think. You're young, not sure of what you're doing, you feel like you're kind of faking it. And Larry, the teacher, Larry, the teacher, just kind of stood right next to us and mentored Carrie. I mean, just so fantastically. And every time I was with him, partly I think also just because the absence of a father in my life, Larry just had those beautiful eyes where he would connect with you and speak into you, not just at you. He would affirm you and lift you up, and you think, wow, maybe I do have what it takes to do this project. And that's what I appreciate most about Larry. That's my personal experience I wanted to share that has shaped really my career. And you don't know how much it means to have people, especially who have lived life and have something to offer of encouragement. He was a prominent figure in that time in my life. I'm so happy to be here to honor him today. Tell him thank you for what you've invested into me personally, and also my wife, and then the residual effect of that love and investment to not only our family, but community. All right, so I'd like to encourage you to come forward and share a story, a little ditty, a little song. Thank you for your song today, a beautiful tenor voice, gorgeous. Marty, you coming up? Yeah, you are. Also, we're encouraging you to help yourself to food.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marty Johan, and I enjoy the companionship with Larry. We enjoyed a lot of sports together, football. We came from the same area in the Bay Area, and I'm wearing my San Jose State hat because we were both Spartans, so we have that in common. So I just wanted to say Larry was special. He treated everybody with kindness and respect, and we enjoyed his ability to be a strong teacher, and he guided a lot of our profession and families in such a kind way. And so we'll miss his spirit. He'll always be with us. We weren't much of a golfer together. We played a few rounds and we stopped counting once we got to about 100. That was the first night. And so other than that, we were delusional about being sports minded, but we still had a good time, and it's a wonderful turnout here. Our hearts go out to Jane and her family. God bless everybody. Aloha.
I've only known Larry and Gene for about 6 years. That's when we moved to the island. I'm Ken Halverson. And my biggest memory of Larry is his concern for Gene. I'm an amateur cook, so I have helped Gene on a number of occasions when she does something here at the church. And we get along very well in soup suppers for lunch or whatever it might be. And Larry always would come up to me while we were working and say, I worry about Jean. This is way too much for her, but she so loves to do it that I can't get her to stop. For 6 years, every time we come together, he'd express his concern for Jean, and Jean would continue to love cooking, and she would continue to do it, and it's wonderful to see that relationship after all those years.
I recognize a lot of people here, but with the masks, it's weird. Anyway, I worked with Larry since 2000, actually 1999. I moved over from Hilo, interviewed with seven different brokerages. Larry was the only one that made me feel really comfortable about selling real estate in Kona. I remember he had such a great sense of humor. He loved playing Santa Claus, and I can't tell you how many times he passed that picture of Buddy on to other people. And it was just hilarious. He thought it was funny. Another thing that we laughed about with Larry is he hated potlucks. Totally, he thought they were gross. He wanted to know how the food was prepared. And so we'd always give him grief about that. And we would talk about parties now. And then we suggest a potluck, and he goes, "We're not doing a potluck." And then he was just funny. Anyway, I love Larry. He was great to work with. He's helped me through a lot of difficult situations, and we're going to miss him a lot. Aloha.
My name is Ryan Caldwell, and I do have one quick story I want to do about Larry. It's something that a lot of people may not know. He shared with me a lot, and because he knew I'd really appreciate it, I really knew and I always remembered about him. But people may not know this. He grew up in Long Beach, graduated high school in Long Beach, went to Long Beach State University, which is where he got his bachelor's, which was the 49ers. Now they call themselves the Beach, but when he was there, it was the 49ers. While there, Larry played varsity basketball. He was way at the other end of the bench. He didn't get a lot of playing time, but Larry was actually played varsity ball in Division I NCAA, and that's always impressed me, and I don't know if that impresses anybody else, but I wanted to share that about Larry. An old basketball player.
Ryan mentioned that he grew up in Long Beach. I'm telling you, Larry was so funny. He was so quick, and he was so fast. You'd be having a conversation, and he'd say something, and he'd turn it on, and he'd have us all holding our bellies. And if you wanted to see some of how fun he was to be around, take a look at the photo album up on the photo table, where there's lots of pictures of Larry being Santa Claus for our company parties. And he always came up with the most incredibly funny gifts for certain people in the crowd. And anyway, he was just a hoot. And he loved to do imitations of him being a black man. And we know he's up there dancing his dance and singing his song. And we're gonna miss your wit and your love, and just what a character he was. Thank you all for being here.
We know that.
My name is Kathleen. I do pastoral care for our community here. And I came to know Larry through my time and visits with him at a hospice. When I met Larry and explained who I was, I felt received. And always when I went to see him, no matter how vulnerable he was, no matter how out of control the conditions around him were, he was who he was. And I always felt he received.
Aloha, everybody. I'm Janet Wells Brown. I worked with Larry since 1995 at Bradley Properties, and then it became Clark Realty. I wasn't going to talk, but Don said some things that came to mind, and said some things. we were a tight family. Maybe some of you don't know that, but Larry guided the ship. We had births, pregnancies, divorces, deaths. There was even a murder. It was awful. And Larry was there for us. That was Kathy Pacheco, some of you may remember. Jerry was there. I just wanted you to know how much he meant to me, and most all of us, while we waded through all of these emotional things that happened. And thank you very much.
Just a spiritual guy, always there to listen to you. When you have a problem, yeah, we all have problems, we get over it, and move on. Larry was the epitome of the best broker. Well, Frankie, you know your people. Anyway, I just want to say I loved him, I appreciate him.
I'm here to say mahalo nui loa to everyone for being here, and to Jean for everything that she does for us. And to Larry, he was the boss. He did a great job. And Jean would be very disappointed if everybody didn't enjoy the meal here, the pupus that have been created. And we want to thank Chef Felix for all that he's done to make this a true event that Jean can be really proud of. And thank you, Pastor David, for not talking for a whole hour. I can remember many, many years of standing on stage and singing whatever song was our last song, and he kept talking and talking and talking, and we loved it. But our feet and our backs were hurting, and we wanted to go sit down. So every once in a while, we would sing out a loud amen. Thank you, Pastor David. Thank you, Jean. And thank you to Larry for all he's done. Aloha.